Hello and welcome back to Amiga 4000 Repair, day 811. I had to wait a few weeks for some parts. I needed some 4.7K surface mount resistors to repair the freaking obliterated ones on this board. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm not going to bore you with the endless testing of everything. I have to figure out where I left off because it's been a few weeks actually. I did get the silicon diode kit that I can put the little diode from the RTC to that little whatever the heck it is, and I have to figure out which one it actually is. I think it's these 1 in 5 408s, I think. But I'm going to double check myself because I know it's not one of these fat daddies like the 6As. So that's the game plan. So we're going to get these 4.7Ks replaced on the top and on the bottom. Hello from another day. Holy crap, suck that in. Alright, so it's another day. I have been wiggling around in this chair, which gets uncomfortable. And I have been working on the resistor packs that are the pull-ups for the mouse and the joystick. I put a couple hours into it yesterday, but wearing this thing, the helmet of Goober, and looking at wires that are so tiny and the size of my pickle fingers working on these things, she's just a little bit tough to do. And then the fact that the pick and place ribbon thing, these are so daggone small that I have to use tweezers to get them in place. The 2020 components are much smaller than the 1994 components. I was having a lot of problems because this sucker is rotted out beyond rot. Imagine trying to solder onto some plastic film wrap and don't melt the film wrap. That's how delicate this board is. It's almost like it's better just to crazy glue the stuff down and then bridge solder on it. There's nothing to hold on to, at least in these areas, as you can tell by the red wire everywhere. That's just to get around busted traces. The battery's butthole is literally right here on the other side, so it just went poop and just really gave it all of its joy. So I managed to get the top pretty much sorted. I replaced a lot of the resistors, and I have one more to do, and that's affecting two of them on the bottom. There is two 1Ks on the bottom. That one of them is a ground. That'll screw you up. Thank you, Amiga PCB Explorer. Again, I cannot thank you enough for all the effort of the people that put that together. That's a real joy. So I'm going to zoom in here, and it's going to look like total garbage. I am not the Nightfall crew, so you're going to see some real mess. So in this area here, you're going to see I have replaced 1, 2, 3, 4, I think 5. 5 of these 4.7K resistors. I have 1 or 2 more up here that are crapping out. I think they just got green crap underneath them, because when I was touching these wires off the 5 volt here, I get some weird Lisa Alice ID changes in Amiga test kit. It says it has an invalid Agnes / Lisa ID or Alice ID, one of the two, and it causes the board not to get any resolutions in the AGA 256 color range. So, important safety tip. I found out that one of the pads had lifted and was going nowhere, so I kind of took the pad that was detached from the board and just gave it a turn a little bit and then soldered it in crooked so it would make contact with the via and what was left of the resistor. I ended up replacing the resistor anyway. I have to do a couple more. 4 hours in, and we haven't even got to the diode yet, man. I wanted to get this trace crap fixed. Just so you can see, I'll show you what I'm talking about. So here we are in Amiga test kit. You'll see it's got the 040 AGA 60 Hz. Thanks, Kier Fraser. Alright, we're going to go to CIA chipset and bat clock. Right here is where I'm talking about. This is normal. This is what you wanted to see. So my main thing is the reset bus, and no. So I just keep going in here after I do my repair work. Because on that resistor pack, if you screw this up, you will get an invalid Denise Lisa or Agnes Alice ID. Just an important safety tip. So I'm going to do one more resistor for today, and I am exhausted, tired. I stayed up till 2:30 in the morning last night working on this, testing on this. I had to go and get sewing needles. Why the heck are you sewing? You making a blanket? No, these the vias were so clogged full of like battery acid or just crap that I had to kind of take rubbing alcohol and literally poke these through, and these are so fine, don't drop it, that I couldn't hold it, so I was taking like a pair of pliers and just tapping and pulling it out, tapping it like I'm giving prison tattoos to the Amiga. So that's what I've been doing. It's not fun. I cannot wait until this unit is at least more functional and I can get it the hell out of here and back to its owner. We can power on. I haven't even got to the Zorro stuff yet. Once I get these pull-ups repaired and the clock chip repaired, that takes care of this area, which makes me feel better that I can start doing the Zorro ICs. Frankenstein here, let me zoom in here, has a bunch of wire. Why? Because the battery here just diarrheaed all over the whole thing. So with my pony tool here, all these resistors, there's a little tiny hole on top of them, and that's where 5 volts comes from. But they were all filled with acid, and all the through hole vias were grounded out from the 5 volt into the center ground plane. This is a 4-layer board. Most of these traces were toast, hence the wiring around. This ball of snot right here is a dab of hot glue I use to hold wires in place while I'm running highways. And there's a couple more here and here. This is a very long one that ran all the way up the board, and there was no other way to get to it because the trace ran around through battery land and 177 and all the good stuff that the 4000 is famous for. So, on this piece of paper, I drew out all 8 capacitors on the bottom, 4.7K and 1K resistors on the bottom, and the top 4.7K. And I had to keep myself edge of board, so I didn't screw up what side I was doing. Most of these through holes were totally gone, so I poked them through, ran them to different points for feeding off of a capacitor or a ceramic or another resistor that had 5 volts, which caused an invalid Lisa and Alice ID. She's supposed to be FCF8 to an FFF8, and a bunch of, take out my soldering iron, a bunch of different addresses. So I had to separate the 5 volts on different resistors. She's like glass right here. I could probably put my finger right through the whole board if this bottom piece wasn't hanging on. It's that flimsy. Alright, so with that finally fixed, my 040 in here right now, the issue is it has no, it doesn't see any Zorros. I had to get this fixed so I can do this. One of these guys, this is a picture of my 4000. It says 5.8, some numbers, I think it's 179326. I'll cross-reference some parts, and then we'll get that in to see if I can get the RTC working. Okay, one diode, just sticking up for now. She's soldered in, and she's just resting on the chip. FCF8, no clock detected. So that didn't do shit. Yay! Unless the clock chip's bad. Brand new clock chip. Now let's see what happens. Brand new clock chip. Nope. So I was having an issue where down was always being pressed. And now it's not. So that means my resistor fixes worked. That's a good thing. Okay, so we got the 3.1 kickstarts out. Diagram is in. Now I am on the RGB to SCART, so there's the funky colors. As you don't see anything, there we go. And if you have one of these switcher dudes, like that little SCART box, it does PAL, because the diagram only boots in PAL. So that sucks. System info. Everything's green. There's nothing failed. It's got to be a busted trace, a bad 646. It's the only thing I can think of. I've been finding busted traces all over this sucker. No boards. It won't show boards. Speaking of board, That's what you are, I'm sure. Thanks for watching so far. I'm just mentally drained at the moment. When you're staring down these barrels for hours, soldering helmets and goober glasses and bad eyes and time suck. See, and then I go like this and I walk away. So I'm going to walk away and check back another day. Well, I knocked the power cord out. Hello from another day. I don't know what day this is. In real life, I don't even know what day it is. Amiga life, I've been doing this forever. I am checking the ICs, the 745s and the 646s on U702, 3, 4, and 6. I'll probably just test all of them, all 6 of them. That's fun to get myself a new multimeter, finally. This one has temperature too, which is kind of cool. I did notice one sketchy pin on U703. It does pass continuity, but it is a little crusty. Pin 3 just has some stuff. I don't know. It looks like crusty battery something. It could be that it got wet. It could be. It's just that look. You know, that ashy kind of solder. Something's not right. They're all like that. They're all kind of crusty. Okay, U703 checks out. Clean the desk up just a hair. No, I didn't. Alright, on to 704. So, I'm on U704. I'm halfway through. I'm around to pin, I don't freaking know, 12. It's the enable pin. That is what lets auto config pull the Zorro bus, and it's pin 12. So I'm going to try and zoom in here and show you this break. So it's there. Alright, so with that shown, I tried to do the solder drag method across the broken trace, but she just got a valley in there deeper than the Grand Canyon. I only found this because I was tracing all the pins out and I wasn't getting any continuity between the two, and I took a Q-tip and wiped around what I thought was just what looked like flux, like a flux bubble, and just wiped it away. When I wiped it away, there was nothing underneath except this rot. This board has it's like somebody spit acid on it in random spots, and it's just the biggest piece of crap I have ever worked on. It's got more holes in it than Swiss cheese. Randomly, just across like random traces. It's like somebody took a mouthful of Varta and sneezed or something all over it, and just random dots of bleh. So I have to do a under repair. I'm going to cut through a via that's on that pin and underneath to pin 12 on the Zorro. Yay. So I fixed the death trace. Pin 12 broke. I couldn't drag the solder across, so I had to go through the hole in the lower left corner. That's just a poke hole for the Lisa chip. There's a couple, so I just went through there, around here, and down to pin 12 where it was supposed to be. I'll hot glue all this crap down, and this is just a mess, but you gotta do what you gotta do to fix them, right? Oh, processor might help. That would be a good thing. Alright, you ready? Here we go. So what we're looking for is, we're looking for the low-high. Any hard drive activity would be just great. I'm going to let it boot. I'm going to do the double mouse button first to check for any, got a power light, stuck in high still, so we're not done. Not done. Alright, she came up faster now. This mouse just sucks. We are fixed. I'll clean it up in a bit. I still got to get the hard drive thing working. I'm there. We got Zorro. That's a plus. SysSpeed, because it shows me my boards. So if I go to, yep, I know I don't have a font. System info. It'll show you the boards down here. Just when you think the party's over, more drunk people show up. IDE hard drive light was not working, and I thought, okay, no big deal. I'll just go from the pin. So 39 on your doohickler here runs underneath, does some magic, shoots on over to the other side of the RAM sockets off this guy right here. Underneath the RAM socket, there is a hole via that hot glue that shoots on over to 311. 12 and 10 loop together off of that same thing. So I just came up out of the capacitor ground hole with the shielding on, tucked her underneath the sim, looped her around, did all the doohicculars, and tested all the continuity, and it seems to be touching. Oh, you know why it's not going to work? Because I didn't plug power in. Oh my god. Let's try that again. I turned the power supply on, but I didn't plug the motor. I told you that I hate this board. If you touch it, it just disintegrates. It's just the worst piece of garbage I have ever worked on in my entire life. You touch one thing, 11 things break. Turns out that U311 was just rotted off, and I didn't have to replace it. I just did my normal and put some spaghetti on it. Bodge wire that runs underneath to the IDE channel. This little loopy doob gives it 5 volts because the chip's VCC just ate off. So here we go. I'll turn off the overhead light. I'll just kind of stick this here. We're 100%, so I can't reach my hand here. So 1 second. We have power light. We get a reset, and we get a hard drive. So she'll actually bleep, 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 and it works fine. It takes a second because my hard drive, I don't know, it's 3.9 and it has to re-kick, and so hard drive is working. Do. It's yelling about the load module. It's got a. We can clearly see the hard drive working, and she'll go out in just a second. Look. Cool beans. So 100% repaired. Everything's groovy. We have our reset. We have, if I had the keyboard plugged in, I could reset it. And hard drive light and power light. Cool. So I'm going to wrap this up, put my 4000 back together, and put all the RAM in this guy, and just button up any hot glue spots I have to tidy up. Solder mask with the luxurious super dry clear fingernail polish. If you don't have solder mask, clear fingernail polish is really good to use because it covers up all the copper, prevents any future damage. So that wraps it up for Project Nightmare 4000. She's working. She's going to get boxed back up and return to her owner pronto. So I hope somehow in this lovely mess of hell this helps someone. I burnt myself too. Hope that doesn't help you, but maybe it will. So thank you for watching as always. I appreciate it, and I hope you learned something.